Good morning and welcome to Power Up. I am your host, Dr. Marcy Bryant, and I'm glad that you decided to join us today because we have some very interesting information for you, and we want to talk about two things today. We want to talk about what to do when life throws you or hands you some difficult information, especially when it concerns your health. And we also want to talk about your confidence, because sometimes when we're going through or when we've just been disappointed, we think that our world has come to an end. We think that there's nobody there that cares, or whatever our dreams and hopes are, that they're just gone up in smoke. But I want to assure you that that is not true. And our guest today, Desiree Potts, we're going to talk about a real issue that has come in to try to claim people's hopes and their dreams and their talents, and also to let you know that those issues and this particular one cannot take away your hope, cannot take away your dream, cannot take away what you have was sent in this earth to do. So we're going to talk about breast cancer today. And with that, we're going to bring Desiree on, and we are going to give you some information that we hope that will change your worry and your doubts to a world of confidence that you can beat this thing. Desiree, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bryant. It's an awesome opportunity, and I'm just so humbled and grateful for this opportunity to come and be on this at the studio this morning. It's always a pleasure to talk about breast cancer awareness, because it's something definitely dear and true to my heart. So I thank you very much for this opportunity on behalf of my board. I thank you very much for this.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And I understand that this has become a passionate work for you, a passionate reach out into the community.
Yes.
So we know that the name of your organization is Choice, or Choices, I should say.
Yes.
But before we talk a little bit about Choices and what the acronym stands for, tell me what got you involved in dealing with cancer.
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. About 7 years ago, my best friend was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she really didn't know how to handle it. Most women believe it's like a death sentence. However, it's not. And just sharing with her and talking about her experience going through breast cancer, it made me want to do something to help her, because women with breast cancer have many, many challenges, and I just wanted to do something in support of her.
Tell me some of the challenges that you witnessed that she was going through that made you want to support her.
Yes. Psychologically, that is a huge challenge, because most women do believe or think that it's a death sentence, that their life is over. And so you want to be very supportive of women who are or who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So that's first and foremost. And just praying with them, that also helps. Having a strong constitution in God is very, very important also. So financially, she was having difficulties. Mentally and emotionally, it was a huge undertaking for her, because she was a mother who had just turned, I think, 47 at the time, and still having children. And surely you want to be here for your children. So that was hard for her to even want to come to terms to share that information with her children.
Did she come to tell you how she found out? What were some of the symptoms that led her to the doctor? Did you get any information with that?
Yes, which is very important, is that women should have their annual mammograms. And ironically, she had her annual mammogram, and nevertheless, she detected the lump in her breast while she was in the shower. And she blew it off at first, because she thought, maybe I bumped into something, that I have this lump here. So she, ignored it. And a lot of women do that.
Okay.
And so while she was in the shower, she detected it. And so after about 2 weeks, the lump didn't go down. She said, let me go to the doctors and see what's going on. But a lot of women don't go, because you know, it's the fear of the unknown. Some women rather not know than to really know. But she did not ignore her body, and that's with women. We must not ignore our body because our body tells us things.
Yes,
and
it
we
does.
can't just downplay it as it'll go away.
Okay.
No.
So the lump was her warning signal,
Yes.
and then going to the doctor.
Yes.
Chances are they did a biopsy.
Yes, she had, because the thing about it, she had just had a mammogram like maybe 2 months prior to feeling that lump. And so women, we must conduct our breast self-examinations monthly. Do your own check of your breast monthly. Do it monthly because a mammogram is yearly. So anything could happen in between that time that you're scheduled for your next appointment.
Okay, so as a result of going through this experience with your friend,
Yes.
you developed a coalition called Choices. Tell us a bit about Choices.
Okay. So Choices is the acronym.
Okay.
The name of the organization is Coalition of Hope, offering inner city empowerment services. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, grassroots organization based out of Chester. However, we do service the tri-state area, but we are based out of Chester, and I have a board of about 5 of us on my board and everything. So Choices has been in existence for about 18 years now. We're coming up on our 18th year
Excellent.
anniversary. And so initially I started out with youth mentoring programs. I did the Miss Chester pageant for about 14 years. So that's how we started out. And Teresa, who is my best friend who was diagnosed with breast cancer, she was the co-founder of Coalition of Hope, offering inner city empowerment services. So we started this journey together 18 years ago.
18 years ago. With what mission in mind?
To empower the youth of the inner city. That was our focus, is to instill life skills into the young people, to develop after school programs and mentoring programs, so forth and so on. So that's how Choices originally started. So going back to Teresa, who was the co-founder, she developed breast cancer 7 years ago. So, you know, my love for her, I decided, let me help her. And it just mushroomed into whereas though now, 7 years later, we're helping other women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I will share this with you real quick. Like, Teresa battled breast cancer for 7 years. Teresa, I don't even want to say lost the battle, but she got her wings last year in October. So I'm more passionate and dedicated to the mission of Choices more so now than ever, because it was because of her that this initiative came to fruition. And so she battled for 7 years, and she was a pillar of strength. She never complained. She was definitely very, very prayerful and had faith that she was going to beat it. But God, her assignment was over in October, but she impacted a huge community.
Okay. Tell me and the audience, what kinds of services or dealing with this cancer, and hearing about Teresa, it took her 7 years before she got her wings, as you said.
Yes.
What services became available through Choices to help women who get this diagnosis?
Thank you for that question. Basically, what we do is raise breast cancer awareness and funding to women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So we have like a monthly campaign that I do via social media, whereas though I basically remind women to do their breast self-examination monthly, and a reminder, did you schedule your annual mammogram? So those are two things that we do via social media.
Okay.
And we also have, in the month of April, we have a breast cancer walk, which ironically has been renamed Teresa Lavelle Powell Stroll 1 Mile in Her Shoes.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
this is
Say
in
that again.
honor.
Say that again.
It's called Teresa Lavelle Powell Stroll 1 Mile in Her Shoes fundraiser.
And it's a fundraiser, and it's going to happen in April in the city of Chester?
In the city of Chester, April the 28th. This is our 7th year conducting this breast cancer stroll 1 mile in her shoes. However, we renamed it after Teresa.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So this is exciting. You know, it's bittersweet, but this is our way of letting her journey not be in vain.
Tell us how they would get in touch with you if individuals that are interested in taking this walk in April.
People could reach out to me via social media,
Okay.
Desiree Potts. I'm on Facebook, or I can provide my email address, which is divapotts@gmail.com. They can call me. Can I give my number?
Yes.
Okay, it's 610-800-2453. Individuals can call me, but definitely reach out to me on social media. We have probably 2 pages, Pink Stilettos Initiatives on Facebook, and then my name, Desiree Potts.
Okay. Now, is there some particular reason why you chose walk a mile in her shoes? Why 1 mile? Why not 2 miles or 3 miles, but 1 mile?
Well, it started out 7 years ago, stroll 1 mile in her shoes, because we were wearing pink stilettos.
Okay, that's where the pink stilettos
So
really comes in.
imagine a woman
Oh
in
my
her
gosh.
stilettos
Oh
or her
gosh.
wedges walking 2 miles or 3 miles. That's impossible.
Oh, God, yes.
So we made it stroll 1 mile in her shoes, and so the idea was that women would wear their wedges, their platforms, their high heels, and stroll a mile.
Now I get the stiletto around there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Wonderful, right?
Yes. And so Choices is doing that walk and to raise funds. Now,
And awareness.
And awareness. Okay. Now, how does it actually raise funds? Do people that get involved pay so much a mile to walk that mile, or do they get donations? How does that work?
There is a registration fee
Okay.
that everyone would pay, which is $30,
Okay.
and you get an event T-shirt. We have refreshments after the walk. There's an award ceremony for those that participate in the walk. For example, most enthusiastic might receive an award. First to cross the finish line will receive an award. So
How about the last one to finish?
No, you just get a hand clap, a high five, fist bump.
There was a reason why I asked that, because I participated in a bike-a-thon years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I came in last at the first stopping point. It was like the first stopping point came in last. The second stopping point, where we had to get a break, I also came in last. And
Okay.
everybody was laughing at me. And I said, wait a minute,
No,
something
no.
is wrong with this bike. And it just turned out it did. So someone who dropped out of the 5-mile bike-a-thon, they allowed me to take their bike.
Okay.
And when I took their bike in the third and last wrong, I came in 7th.
Okay.
And I said, see, I told you all, it was the
bike. Exactly, not the operator.
It wasn't the operator. So anyway, and that came out to be one of the driving points that made that successful.
Okay.
And people paid, they paid the donations anyway, and we raised quite a bit of funds for
awesome.
that.
That's
But that's why I
amazing.
was asking you
Yes,
how
so
we do this.
we try to encourage our strollers to request donations, but it really
Okay.
doesn't work. So some do, but the majority of the individuals, they just pay their registration fee,
I see.
and that's it. And it's okay, because we want to, it's about more so awareness. However, we do need the funding, because we use the funding to assist women who are currently, breast cancer patients with their bills. We purchase wigs for women. Well, we don't purchase them. I give them the debit card, and they go to the beauty supply store and purchase their wigs themselves. So we want them to have that experience, and so we don't personally pick out wigs. We I give my card to the women, and they go to the beauty supply store
Oh,
at
that's
their
so
leisure
wonderful.
and purchase their wigs. And women who are survivors, a lot of them develop lymphedema in their arm, so we purchase sleeves for them.
Now, what exactly is lymphedema?
There,
Explain that.
it's the swelling of the arm
Okay.
because of the lymph nodes in the arm. A lot of women have complications with lymphedema after breast cancer, and it's more. The sleeve is a compression
I
sleeve
see.
because the women, their arms fill up with fluid. So that they wear a sleeve. And so we help with the purchase of sleeves. We also give tickets to plays just as a, because women, they're going through a lot, going through breast cancer. So we just as a pick-me-up, if you will, we'll buy tickets to plays and local events that are going on, whether it's a concert, a spa day, help with their medical bills. So that's what we do. We don't raise a lot of monies, but however, our dollars stay within the community. Because Susan G.
Okay.
Komen is a wonderful organization.
Okay.
However, sometimes the dollars do not trickle down to the local community. So our dollars are raised by the community, and we service the women in our local community
I
with the
see.
monies that are raised. But we would like for participants of the stroll to be mindful and ask for donations. And so
I can see that.
that's a huge challenge for us as an organization to have people have a paradigm shift and have the mindset so, okay, I'm supporting, but I'm also going to ask for donations.
Donations, okay,
Whether
that's
it's a
good.
dollar, $5, $10, no amount is too small, and every little bit helps because it serves the women in our local community.
Okay. Now, this is an amazing and an awful big challenging and challenge. And I hear you saying that yes, people need to ask for donations that are
Yes.
that are going to participate in this particular walk, and that's great. But okay, there are other helps that I'm sure that you need other than just financial. So how can other people get involved with this coalition, and what kinds of things do you all look for volunteers? Because I understand that your entire organization is basically a volunteer organization.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for that question. Yes, my board is strictly, we do this from the heart. We are not compensated for, I've been doing this for 18 years.
Okay.
And it's strictly straight from the heart. I'm passionate about it. I do want choices to grow, go to another level where we are able to service more women. And so that's also on the table. How can we grow? And we're always looking for people to get involved. Just call me, reach out to me on Facebook. We're always looking for new ways, new ideas, new energy in order to take this brand to another level. I welcome people to become a part of Choices, to volunteer at our different events that we have, because our breast cancer walk is coming up on April the 28th, Saturday, April 28th. It'll be held at, registration starts at 9 a.m. and the walk the ceremony will commence at 10 a.m. So we need volunteers. We need donations. We need in-kind donations, whether it's donate a gift basket because women who are currently going through breast cancer, they are also participants, and those that are survivors are participants in the breast cancer walk, and those that have lost a loved one. So breast cancer impacts statistically, it is said that breast cancer affects 1 in 8 women. And in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 32 women are diagnosed with breast cancer per day. That's just those that are diagnosed. There are some that go undiagnosed. So Choices, I have a monthly campaign, I have a monthly breast cancer awareness campaign, which is early detection is the key to survivorship. So that's why we encourage women to do their breast self-examination and to have their annual mammogram. So I'm campaigning monthly, not just Breast Cancer Awareness Month is the month of October. So we're not gearing up for October. We're gearing up 365 days a year, okay? So we are ongoing with this mission because, like I said, breast cancer is any cancer is devastating, but breast cancer takes a huge toll on women. Because I'll say, for an example, if someone has lung cancer, you really can't see that, but you really can see externally a woman who has been diagnosed with breast cancer or who has had a lumpectomy or a mastectomy. You see externally. So mentally and emotionally, it's very taxing on women dealing with breast cancer. So we try to provide support to those women who are going through treatment, and we salute our survivors.
That's what I wanted to ask about. Before you do that, if you've just joined us, we have Desiree Potts here from Choices, which is a coalition that's dealing with breast cancer awareness. And she has been sharing with us information that could help women who are coming into this and experiencing this devastating news for the first time, letting them know that there are choices out there for them, that there is help, and they can contact her coalition and they will be able to get some support that is much, much needed. And with that, I would like Desiree now to at least give us a sample, or at least one or two, if she can, off the top of her head, of some of the success stories that have come through Coalition for the time it has existed.
Yes. During the month of October, what we do is celebrate women who are breast cancer survivors. And that's an opportunity where we allow these women, we celebrate them. We even celebrate caregivers because they have a vital role also in someone who's going through breast cancer. They have a vital role of they need support, definitely. So they're just as important, the caregivers. So we celebrate women during the month of October. We have an annual Breast Cancer Awareness Ball. And that's where we allow these women, 8 to 10 women, to basically share their journey, to allow people to know that it's not a death sentence, that they're here. God is good. He is able. Miracles do happen. So in the month of October, we have, like I said, about 8 or 10 women who share their story, because everybody's journey is different. There's different types of breast cancer, so not every, it's not cookie cutter. Not everything is the same. So what one woman may go through during the stage of her treatment, another woman.
Now that's something
totally
interesting
different.
that you've said. I didn't know that there was more than one type of breast cancer.
Oh my goodness, yes there are. Yes.
And so between the patient and the doctor, they decide which treatment is going to be best for the cancer that they have.
Their particular cancer, correct.
Is there anything more specific? Like you said, the breast cancers are different. Is there anything specific you can elaborate on? What makes one thing different than the other?
I'm not here to give medical advice or anything of that nature, so I'll just share this. Some cancers are environmental.
Okay.
Some cancers are due to smoking, diet, exercise.
I
see. There's several different types of cancer. Teresa had, which was a triple 2B negative. Now that one is a more aggressive form of cancer. So she had it initially in her breast, but it metastasized and spread to her liver, her liver, her spine. The cancer just spread throughout her body. And because the doctor was able to deal with this cancer here in her breast, but then when it metastasized, it was another type of cancer. When it went to her liver, it was another type of cancer. So basically it was like trial and error because they did not know how to tackle this cancer. And some women need to know your history. Know your family history, because some women may have that gene. So those women need to have that genetic testing to see if they're predisposed to cancer. So it's best to be aware so that you're fully prepared down the line.
My goodness.
Because there are several types of cancers out there, and know your history because some are definitely genetic.
Personally, I am glad that this organization exists. And if you're watching this show today, and for yourself and the women in your life that you love, encourage them
definitely.
to follow up. Encourage them to look at what their choices might be when it comes to their health, particularly in the area of breast cancer.
Yes.
What I'd like you to do now, Desiree, is give the women a piece of advice. What have you learned? What would you say to them that perhaps they need to know? How would you encourage them to move forward in checking out their health?
Yes, thank you for that question. I would encourage women to definitely get your annual mammogram and to listen to your body. And sometimes you may have to push back on doctors because they don't know it all, and you know your body better than anybody. And sometimes doctors will misdiagnose, and sometimes the mammograms will undetect
Yes.
a lump, if you will. So definitely push back on the doctors. Get a second and third opinion. Until you get the answers that you need, you have to be your own health advocate. You have to be proactive where your health is concerned. And it's not just breast cancer, but the whole wellness of your body. You must be proactive. Get your yearly checkups. Make yourself a priority. Because if it was our children, we had them to the doctors all the time.
Yes.
A little sniffle, we were ready to take our kids to the doctors. And women, we just always put ourselves on the back burner. So I would encourage women, that's what I learned, to be your own health advocate, know your body, listen to your body, and get a second and third opinion if needed.
There, you've heard it from Desiree Potts. She has told you, take care of yourself, take care of your body, look after yourself, even if it means getting more than one opinion. As for me and myself, I do plan on following this advice. I do plan on making certain that I listen to my body and follow up with my doctors. I hope you will too. I want you to understand that just because you get a negative report does not mean that it is a death sentence, right?
Exactly.
It is not a death sentence.